One of the most important term is process. ISO 9000 standard promotes process approach. One of the principle of quality management system is process approach. Now, what is a process? Process is a set of interrelated and interacting activities that uses inputs to deliver intended results. So we perform certain tasks to convert the inputs into desired output or intended result. Let me give you a very simple example. You go to Starbucks. You want a nice cappuccino. They will ask, what drinks you need today? You say, I need a cappuccino. All right. What is the size? Tall size. So this is a standard size for Starbucks. The moment you say tall, you know a specific size that you are ordering. Now, if you don't know what is the size, they will display different sizes. This is tall, so you can choose that particular item and your name, and then you pay the money, the charges, and then your drinks is made in few minutes of the time. So they took all your inputs, exactly what you need, that they converted into a cup of coffee, a cappuccino that you wanted. And then a cappuccino is, it has got espresso, it has got milk and foam and certain proportion, and they know how to take the powder and then mix it and take the espresso out of it and do the milk frothing and mix it and give it to you in a nice, beautiful way. So the process here is taking order is a process that has gone into a manufacturing process or a production process, the made cup of tea. So the process is a set of interrelated, interacting activities that actually used your input to give you the desired output. That's the process. So if you look at what is the process, you have got activities, and activities inputs are going to be converted into outputs. So input could be information, requirement, resources, man, machine, material, and all that kind of things, methods and procedures. These are all input. Activity is actually the work that you are doing. The activity is basically the task, chronological task that you are doing. And the procedure, the service, the product is the output. So that's the process. And this is a very interesting slide. If you understand this slide well, you can apply it in any field of your work, be it processing, performing a task, be it doing an audit or whatever task you are doing. So process, you need sources of inputs. Sources of inputs, for example, when you are ordering the coffee, you are the source of inputs. When you need input for certain function, it could be a standard, it could be customer specification, it could be a contract or wherever you take the input. So you need to have right sources for the inputs and the inputs itself, which are basically information, procedure, what you need to make the product. So that's input. And then you perform certain activities, certain chronological activities from the beginning till the end. And then you get the output, which is the product itself. And once you get the output, the product, there is a receiver of the product. Once I have ordered, I have given the input, I am the receiver of the product, which is the cappuccino that the Starbucks has made. Now, there will be inputs, the sources are predecessor process, or information of the contract or whatever, legal law, whatever documents, you take the sources of inputs from the standards, and that information and all those things are inputs, and then you get the output, the product, even the ideas. As a consultant, we sometimes give ideas. The idea itself is the product of a thought process. So you give an idea, you give a recommendation for something, that is a product. And the receiver could be the subsequent process or a person or a subsequent process which is taking the output. And there'll be a starting point always, and there is an end point. So, and one most important thing is then there will be control. This control has to be applied even on the sources of inputs to ensure that the right sources of informations are used, the right inputs are taken. All right, so there are controls and the right activities are done in a chronological sequence, and the right products are coming out. They're verified, there'll be control, and it goes to the right receiver. So the controls will be there in all these sources of input, activities, output, and the receiver. That's in a nutshell is a process. So if I would like to summarize, the process is activities, interacting activities, logical activities that takes input, converts into desired results or output under controlled condition.